Shemot, chapter 14.
And YHWH spoke unto Moshe, saying, Speak unto the children of Yisra'el, that they turn back and encamp before Pi-Hachirot, between Migdol and the sea, before Baal-zephon, over against it shall you encamp by the sea. And Pharaoh will say of the children of Yisrael, they are entangled in the land, the wilderness has shut them in. And I will harden Pharaoh's heart, and he shall follow after them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, and the Egyptians shall know that I am YHWH. And they did so. And it was told the king of Egypt, that the people were fled. And the heart of Pharaoh and of his servants was turned towards the people, and they said, What is this we have done, that we have let Yisrael go from serving us? And he made ready his chariots, and took his people with him. And he took 600 chosen chariots, and all the chariots of Egypt, and captains over all of them. And YHWH hardened the heart of Pharaoh king of Egypt, and he pursued after the children of Yisrael, for the children of Yisrael went out with a high hand. And the Egyptians pursued after them, all the horses and chariots of Pharaoh, and his horsemen, and his army, and overtook them encamping by the sea, beside Pi-Hachirot, in front of Baal-zephon. And when Pharaoh drew near, the children of Yisrael lifted up their eyes, and behold, the Egyptians were marching after them. And they were sore afraid, and the children of Yisrael cried out unto YHWH. And they said unto Moshe, Because there were no graves in Egypt, have you taken us away to die in the wilderness? Wherefore have you dealt thus with us, to bring us forth out of Egypt? Is not this the word that we spoke unto you in Egypt, saying, Let us alone, that we may serve the Egyptians? For it were better for us to serve the Egyptians, than that we should die in the wilderness. And Moshe said unto the people, Fear you not. Stand still, and see the salvation of YHWH, which he will work for you today. For whereas you have seen the Egyptians today, you shall see them again, no more, forever. YHWH will fight for you, and you shall hold your peace. And YHWH said unto Moshe, Wherefore cries you unto me? Speak unto the children of Yisrael, that they go forward. And lift you up your rod, and stretch out your hand over the sea, and divide it, and the children of Yisrael shall go into the midst of the sea, on dry earth. And I, behold, I will harden the hearts of the Egyptians, and they shall go in after them. And I will get me honor upon Pharaoh and upon all his host, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the Egyptians shall know that I am YHWH, when I have gotten me honor upon Pharaoh, upon his chariots, and upon his horsemen. And the angel of Elohim, who went before the camp of Yisrael, removed, and went behind them. And the pillar of cloud removed from before them, and stood behind them. And it came between the camp of Egypt and the camp of Yisrael. And there was the cloud and the darkness here, yet gave it light by night there, and the one came not near the other all the night. And Moshe stretched out his hand over the sea. And YHWH caused the sea to go back by a strong east wind all the night, and made the sea dry land, and the waters were divided. And the children of Yisrael went into the midst of the sea upon the dry earth, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand, and on their left. And the Egyptians pursued, and went in after them into the midst of the sea, all Pharaoh's horses, his chariots, and his horsemen. And it came to pass in the morning watch, that YHWH looked forth upon the host of the Egyptians, through the pillar of fire and of cloud, and discomfited the host of the Egyptians. And he took off the chariot wheels, and made them to drive heavily, so that the Egyptians said, Let us flee from the face of Yisrael, for YHWH fights for them against the Egyptians. And YHWH said unto Moshe, Stretch out your hand over the sea, that the waters may come back upon the Egyptians, upon their chariots, and upon their horsemen. And Moshe stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the sea returned to its strength when the morning appeared. And the Egyptians fled against it, and YHWH overthrew the Egyptians in the midst of the sea. And the waters returned and covered the chariots, and the horsemen, even all the host of Pharaoh that went in after them into the sea, there remained not so much as one of them. But the children of Yisra'el walked upon dry land, in the midst of the sea, and the waters were a wall unto them on their right hand, and on their left. Thus YHWH saved Yisra'el that day, out of the hand of the Egyptians, and Yisra'el saw the Egyptians, dead upon the seashore. And Yisra'el saw the great work which YHWH did upon the Egyptians. And the people feared YHWH, and they believed in YHWH, and in his servant Moshe.